All right, I am going to call to order the City Council meeting for Wednesday, May 13th. And first up, any agenda additions or changes?
None for me.
Thank you. Any council?
Video?
Sorry, was that?
Camera, this is Bethany. I'm sorry. Is there a webcam?
There is a webcam.
There we go.
Okay. We have Ashley in the guest spot tonight, so she just fixed that. Thank you. All right, so no additions or changes, so we'll move on to public to be heard. Anyone in the audience?
No.
Okay. Anyone online? I just closed my online, so.
Reese is online.
Okay. All right. She got her hand up.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Risa. I'm fumbling with my computer.
Okay, thank you. I'm curious, at the meeting, the special meeting last week, when you swore in the people who were testifying, it dawned on me, why are we not seeing council when they're new at their first meeting being sworn in at the meeting? I understand that they are sworn in to Lincoln. I know that happens, but it just seems it wouldn't take more than a few minutes. And it would just be that, like, yeah, here's a new person.
A great question. I do not know the answer to. I believe I was sworn in actually at a council meeting, but I went through a different process. But I don't know if anybody knows the answer.
I think being seated and being sworn in are different things, and that's why. So they don't have to be at the same time. I know
Yeah.
I was sworn in before I was actually seated. So that's
Yeah.
why. My pictures from being sworn in by Susan
Yep.
are before I actually had a seat on the council. I was
Well, we become
That's
counselors on May 1st.
Right, so you can be sworn in.
Responsibilities have to start May 1st, then we're counselors. That's ceremonial and kind of duplicative if we do it at the meeting, but.
Yeah.
and I actually got sworn in April.
Yeah.
So because there's paperwork to involve. So
Gotcha.
I mean, I don't know if that's a good if that's a satisfying answer, Risa, but
Yeah. I don't think we really we don't have really an answer. It's just that's how it's been happening for as long as I can remember, but definitely something to think about for next time.
Thank you.
It would be nice.
Thank you.
More on the low-key side.
We are a little on the low
Essex
key.
Junction and high-end ceremonial side.
All right, anyone else online? All right, not seeing any other hands, we will dive right into business item 5A, which is the council orientation presentation.
Okay, let me. Okay, are you seeing what you should be seeing?
We are.
Awesome, thank you. So last year, I think, Tim, you said you were happy the presentation was changed since the year before. You'll notice. Not this year, sorry. Would have loved to put in some new and exciting pieces, but this is a bit of a repeat from last year with some tweaks along the way. I will move through and I guess just this is not Risa's question, but I will just point out for folks who are maybe used to the council reorganization happening right now at this meeting, that actually happened last week because we had a dog hearing, special meeting for a dog hearing last week. So we did our reorganizing. So Amber is council president, as it shows here on the slide, and Tim Miller is vice president, and Bethany is the clerk. Okay, so just gonna, this is roughly the content that I'm going to be covering. Really, if anybody does have anything to add or questions along the way, just interrupt. Okay, So we have demographic slide at the beginning of this presentation each year, just to sort of give some general understanding of our population. Some of these data points are from the American Community Survey, which have quite significant margins of error. So this is not necessarily completely accurate. It's as best as we know it. So median household income in Essex Junction is a bit higher than Chittenden County as a whole. And we are seeing more languages spoken at home. That number again, other than English in the homes in Essex Junction, that number goes up a little bit each year. Again, it's really the margin of error. But it's a good point to keep in mind that we've got lots of folks to communicate with in our community as we're trying to figure out how to do the work that we do. So our strategic action plan, this was started in 2024. This is the vision from that strategic action plan. This has kind of been the direction that we've been going in since we've been a city and since we got that strategic action plan going. Some of the bold text I'll just read. The vision is for the city of Essex Junction to become known for its inclusive and welcoming ethos. The economic approach is community-led while having a strong focus on adapting and growing as a community. And there's a few other, a lot more in it here as well. But so the strategic action plan helped define this vision. It also helped define these 6 pillars, which kind of organize and guide the work that we have been doing. And then there are 3 actions under each of those pillars. We will be talking about the council retreat later in this agenda. And really the focus on what we're doing next comes from a framework of these 6 pillars and prioritizing our work within this framework. So folks might be a little bit confused because we are now starting work on the comprehensive plan for the city. So the comprehensive plan is a required document if the city wants to have zoning regulations. We do have zoning regulations, and this plan helps us really set the stage for what those zoning regulations should be. It also includes a number of other topics that are required by state statute to have in this plan. And the plan has to be done every 8 years. So with our strategic action plan being done just a couple of years ago, thinking through how these 2 work together, and a good example is that the current comprehensive plan is organized based on the heart and soul goals that the community put together quite a long time ago. And so you can think about it that this new comprehensive plan will really be organized more on the pillars associated with the strategic action plan, and we'll be working towards that vision that was established in the strategic action plan. But the content of the comprehensive plan is much more robust and really true to its name, quite comprehensive. And so this slide just points out a number of other things that will be brought into play with this comprehensive plan. In the prior comprehensive plan, there was still the concept of merger. So since then, we have become a city, and there are a number of changes at the regional level that we will work into play, like the housing goals and the changes in the future land use maps. And we've done a number of planning efforts ourselves that will get incorporated into this plan as well, like the Connect the Junction plan. So moving on, we are a council manager form of government. The council is the policy setting board, and the manager is the chief administrative officer. And we're going to kind of work through a few more slides here to kind of explain the roles on each side. So the council authority, you all hire the manager, you appoint the city attorney, the city clerk, and the zoning administrator. You appoint residents to your boards. And then you also, as a city council, as a board, function for a number of other activities. One is the liquor control board when you're issuing liquor licenses. One is as the local cannabis control board when you're looking at cannabis applications. Board of Health, if we were to have a health issue come your way. And we had a dog hearing last week as well. So at times you function in more a quasi-judicial role like you did last week for the dog hearing, but most of the time you're in your council policymaking role. Amend ordinances, acquire, sell, or lease property, and fiduciary oversight of the budget that you send on to the voters. On the manager side, I serve as the chief administrative officer. I prepare the budgets that come forward to you all and then administer them and oversee everything that comes out of the policy level work that the council does. So ordinance enforcement, serve as the personnel director, and really my role is as the councilor's primary support. So there are a couple of staff that have very particular statutory requirements that they follow. And so they cannot be directed to do something otherwise if it is not in alignment with their role as directed by state statute. That is the zoning administrator and the police chief, fire department, and the city clerk. So this image attempts to get a little bit at the explanation of the two roles between the council and the manager. And you can see that line down the center, starting at the top with mission and visioning work. On the left-hand side of this is more of the council's role. So on the left-hand side of that black line, more of the mission work is in the side of the council. Then when you get to policy, the manager side, it switches a little bit more over to the manager side as we're preparing things to bring to you for your final decision making. Then the bottom two, administration and management, is much more in the manager's sphere. So this is based on an article that really just is a helpful way, I think, of describing the manager's roles in 6 different categories. And you can see down the right-hand side what some of those examples of the particular roles are. And this at the top is strategic vision. That one's fairly straightforward. And at the bottom, it talks about oversight, and one of those main reasons doing my evaluation, as well as taking a look at and getting an audit in the city done. Then this slide talks a bit about my role in what we do at the staff to try to help best support you all to do those roles in that previous slide. And I would say some of this we're doing pretty regularly and ongoing. Some of this we still have got some room for growth and can do better at. One example of that is number 3 there. It talks about really trying to bring back the work that we do, that we're bringing to you on a regular basis, and showing how that comes into play and how it aligns with the strategic plan and the vision that we're doing. I think we can probably do a better job of that. What we have been doing the last year or so is really creating the department work plans, where you're seeing all of our ongoing activity plus new efforts described within the strategic planning framework. And you all see that at the budget, when we bring you the budget, and you will see it again at the retreat when we start giving you a little, give you a reporting out of where we are so far, as we also start looking forward to see what's up next. So communication with staff. So questions should be directed to me, to the manager. We also, as you all know, are in practice of, you all can email a department head so long as I am CC'd on that communication. We will do our best to answer the questions promptly and get it to all of you so you've all got the same information. We've got facility tours. Bethany, we've got her, I think, scheduled up for hers. So that will be great. It's good to get out there and see all the facilities that we have. Any operational type questions that you get, if you can just send those over to me, and we will get those answers from the proper person. And then just a note, in emergency situations, we do our best to get you all the information as quickly as we can, but responding to the event is the first and foremost thing that we are focusing on. So just keep that in mind. Okay, we have a communication policy for the council. We also have a meeting policy for the council. Those documents are on the city council page on the city's website. This explains a little bit of that. As I said, we just did our elections last Wednesday, and between the president and myself, we set the agendas for the meetings. The policy states that a requested agenda item will be considered in relation to the council's priorities and work plans. So again, we try to stay focused on the strategic planning effort. That is not to say that we will not adjust and pivot and be open to any emerging issues as they come up. The agendas are organized in a very specific way, public to be heard. Then we've got our business items. Consent agenda is typically things that are a little bit more ministerial, grant applications that we might be applying for, or if we've already talked about an item a number of times and just getting it over the finish line, that'll be down in the consent. Counselors are always welcome to pull something out of a consent and put it on business if you would like to discuss it. Then we have the reading file just for information for folks, and then executive session if needed. Okay, so transparency, open meeting law, and ethics, these really are all in place to ensure that we are holding the public trust. Important to just keep in mind that anything that the council is doing, discussing in terms of business, should always be done in an open meeting, so folks in the community understand what's going on and how and why decisions are being made. So we avoid any discussion via email, and you want to make sure you're using your essexjunction.org email address for any communications that you're doing, because we also do have public records requests that come up. And anything that we do discuss in executive session is confidential. So open meeting law, the open meeting law got some changes to it pretty robustly in 2024, and then they made some other tweaks in 2025. One of those was to change the definitions of public bodies. Before they were kind of confusing. Now they've kind of clarified it. So a public body are all our decision-making bodies. That's the City Council, DRB, Library Trustees, and the BCA. And essentially for those meetings, we can conduct hybrid meetings. We cannot conduct virtual only meetings. That's kind of the real distinction that came out of that legislation. Our advisory committees can hold virtual only meetings. Also important to note that we don't have to host hybrid meetings for our decision-making bodies. We are in the practice of doing that. It is very helpful. I think it opens up more accessibility for folks. So we are in the practice of doing that. But I will note that some of our meetings just don't lend itself to that. As an example, we did an open house for the budget discussion on January 31st. We held that as an in-person only meeting because we really could not interact well with people online. We recorded it in order to meet the recording requirement, but you couldn't participate virtually. And that is likely how we will do the retreat coming up in a few weeks as well. Then we've got our requirements of posting minutes, and there is a required open meeting law training that is only required annually for the council president and myself. I will say that it's pretty helpful for others to take it as well, if you would like. And we are planning to have a bit of a annual process where we are reminding and just going around and talking with the committees about the open meeting law requirements as well as the ethics policy. So hoping to get that going this summer, hopefully. Then the city adopted the statewide municipal code of ethics. This is only a few years old now at this point as well. And we have asked all staff and committee members to follow that and read it and sign it, and then stay up to date with the training. There is also the requirement that we have a system in place for how we will handle any questions about potential violations of the ethics code. So that is the location on the city's website that you would go to if you have any concerns. And it tells you how to submit the complaint and who to talk to about that. And also this is a helpful, the hyperlink there in the fourth bullet is a helpful guide and just helping somebody think through if you might think you have a conflict of interest on a topic. This is a very quick and easy yes and no tree that helps you kind of think through whether you may have a conflict or not. As always, if you do have a conflict, you should disclose it and then recuse yourself if necessary. Also, just helpful for folks to know, the city manager, I am a ICMA member, International City Management Association. I am at an ICMA conference right now in Philadelphia, which is why I'm not with you all. And we have also our own code of ethics that we adhere to. So that is helpful to know. Declaration of Inclusion. The village trustees adopted this Declaration of Inclusion back in 2022. This also is on the City Council page of the city's website. This is the full verbiage of the Declaration of Inclusion. I think I saw the governor talking about this week or last, and I think we might be up to, well, now I'm going to make things up. It's either 80 communities in the state or 80% of the communities in the state, I cannot recall, that have now adopted the Declaration of Inclusion. And this is just, I think, a helpful thing to be reminded of, and that we are working towards this. Okay. We've got lots of boards and committees that do a lot of great work for the city. There are some that are specifically spelled out in the charter. That is the Planning Commission, Development Review Board, Board of Abatement, Board of Civil Authority, and the Library Board of Trustees. Then on the right-hand side of that, these are all of our advisory committees that we've got a bit more flexibility with those in terms of what their mission is, what they might be doing for the city, and have much more flexibility in the advisory committee category of starting up a committee for a short term if we've got something that we need some help with. Recent example is the rebranding committee that Ashley has been working with. So those short-term committees are not listed on here, but we bring them in as well when necessary. Then on the bottom left corner of this slide are all of the regional organizations that have city representation on them. We also will be talking about this later in the agenda tonight. Then we've had this sort of maybe future hopeful list of committees in the bottom right-hand side that we have heard about over time, and we'll continue to think through and figure out how and when to bring some of these to life, and some of that conversation will be happening at your retreat. Organizational structure, we've got 3 external contracts: Hamlin Engineering for city engineering, Moynihan and Safar for the city attorney, and then Open Approach for our IT services. Then you see the departments here. The number of FTEs do not include the director of the department. And then also, we have 2 services that we are in shared service agreements with the town. That is the police department and the assessing department. The police services agreement is for 10 years from when we first became a city, and the assessing contract is, we entered into a new 3-year contract as of July. We're still currently in the first one as we are wrapping up the reappraisal. Facilities, these are all the facilities in the city. The tree farm is the most interesting property in the sense that we co-own that with the town of Essex. So the city does not own the portion of the tree farm that's in the city side, and the town own the portion of the tree farm that is in the town side. We both collectively own the property as a whole. So very interesting and unique. And also the gardens and the dog park on West Street are on state-owned property. Otherwise, the rest of these the city owns in full. So budget, I think we're probably all quite familiar with the budget at this point in time, but the 2027 budget that will kick in on July 1 is in the general fund, $12,921,000. That was the revenue side, and this is the expenditure side. slide. Purchasing policy. So we just updated the purchasing policy. The council did this on the 15th of April. Before we had 6 different purchasing types. This has been streamlined down to 3 purchasing types. So in the $15,000 to $75,000 category, the city manager is the purchasing agent for that, and over $75,000, it comes to the city council. For any grants that the city applies for or accepts, if there is a match, that goes to the council for approval. If there is no match, the manager can approve that. Okay, priority projects. This is just a selection. We have all kinds of things going on, but we've got our retreat coming up June 3rd. We have the reappraisal that is wrapping up over the next couple of months here. Folks should have their initial assessment letters in the mail in a couple of weeks, I believe. Couple of construction projects going on, public works facility. We will be kicking that off, I guess, so somewhat soon. Lots to figure out on that one. Library roof replacement, that should have been done already, having a little bit of difficulty getting somebody in to do that. This summer, we will be doing the Railroad Avenue water line. We've got our annual repaving projects, pump station projects in the works, and Pearl Street multimodal will be coming back to the council before we decide next steps on that. Main Street Park should be happening soon, and I should have gotten an update on Cascade Park timing, but I don't have an update on the timing for that for you. Moving forward on the Amtrak project, we will be this summer entering into negotiations with our association. Essex Junction staff are in an association because it is not an official union, but we do that negotiation every 3 years, or have been traditionally doing it every 3 years with a contract. So that will be getting kicked off this summer, and the salary study is being done right now. Talked about the comprehensive plan update already, and we've got equity work happening with a great partnership between the city of Winooski, us, and CCRPC, and other partnering communities. We've been having a community of practice and learning lots of different things that will be helpful, including language access plan. So we have direction on when we should translate things, how we should translate things, if video is better than word translation. Lots of great stuff coming down the road on the work that's been coming out of that. Then future facility needs, anticipated, nothing specific or in the works yet for either of those, but certainly aware that we've got facility needs in both of those areas. Then on the right, you just have your capital plan, which has the link to the actual capital plan and all of the projects. And then again, the second link there is the strategic action plan, including the department work plans, which is a kind of an incredible level of detail of the work that we've got going on. Okay, hiring. We've got some childcare folks that we are hiring for now, and EJRP is wrapping up for their incredibly busy summer, so we're hiring over there as well. Fun upcoming events. We've got the Memorial Day Parade happening on Saturday, May 23rd. I think I just recently dawned on me that Memorial Day is that early. So that's the day that it's happening. There is some more information in your packet about Memorial Day. And last year we did have Main Street closed because the Crescent Connector Road was open. And so this year we are intending to do some fun stuff over there on Main Street. So then we've got the Pride Festival happening at Maple Street Park on Saturday, May 30th. And then a number of events coming up in celebration of Brownell's 100th anniversary. This is just a list of resources for a number of different things that can be helpful for the community and the council to reference. There is also, just this past year, VLCT did put together a new select board handbook. So that is very helpful. The council members can access that, the public cannot. But that's the link so that you can get to it. I think that's it.
You? That's a lot. Anybody got any questions? Council? Well, there will be a quiz later. Any questions online or in the room? Okay, not seeing any. We will move on to some fun discussion about the retreat and what we're doing. I'm not sure which one of you wants to take it, so. Your name's on the memo, Ashley.
Doesn't matter to me. I can start it out. Regina, you can jump in. So we do have our strategic planning retreat that we will be doing on June the 3rd. It'll start first thing in the morning and go probably till about 3:30 in the afternoon. We're planning on doing it here at the city offices and over in the senior center. So this is an opportunity for the council and the department heads to start looking at their priorities for next year and to do with budgeting. It's also an opportunity for you guys to discuss some topics that you have wanted to discuss. So this is our second year for doing it. We will have Sue McCormick who will facilitate it again this year. She did a great job last year and she's been willing to do it with us again. So I did attach a draft agenda to this. It's very similar to last year's agenda. We'll have a council portion in the morning, and then we'll have the second part where we'll have the department heads come in and really start focusing on those priorities for FY28. So this is an opportunity for you guys to discuss the agenda and see if there's any additions that you want to include on that.
Open it up.
And I'll just add that the three topics of what the council wants to focus on, that's just sort of what we've kind of heard so far and our summarization of it. Really, this is, you all can choose and decide what makes the most sense there.
Thoughts?
I mean, it was pretty organic last year, so I'm okay with it being relatively organic again this year as we see what comes from the conversations and kind of work through things.
Brian?
Yeah, same. Yeah, the same's fine.
Josh? Sure. Bethany, anything?
Well, I don't know how these work, but it sounds fine to me.
Well, we like the element of surprise. So we'll leave that.
Yeah.
Just come prepared to work.
Yes, and there will be homework.
Whoa.
Well,
That homework will be coming out very soon. We'll have that hopefully by Monday. The department heads are finishing up their, so part of this is you guys get the work plans. And in the work plan, you guys get to see where we are in our action items. So we do a percentage of what we have accomplished in our action items. So that is the update that the department heads are getting to me. They're due this Friday. And then I will have all of that information to put together for you guys to start looking at, along with the other short little bit of homework. It's basically looking over the prioritization list, deciding what you guys think should be raised up, or if there's anything that need to be added to the prioritization list. So that's pretty much the homework. And then we have some criteria that we all are agreeing to with this retreat that we just want to look over one more time too.
Okay, thanks.
And,
Fair enough.
sorry. I just want to add that we have worked with this project list, this idea list that's kind of just been added to over time. And it's an interesting list because there are some kind of very tiny in the weeds things and some very high level, big picture concepts. So I don't know that I think we got to a good place with the retreat last year. I'm not quite sure how to solve that challenge of the scale issue. So I will just ask, as you guys get the homework, kind of think on that in your minds. And if you've got any thoughts or suggestions, we are open to hearing how we can kind of think through those different scale kinds of things. If that makes any sense. But yes, I appreciate it is organic. We are, we're just sort of in an evolution process until we really can get to a place that this works maybe perfectly. I won't overpromise, but works well.
I think for the homework, or for the information that we get, at least from my point of view, not being at the last one, it'd be great to have a one-page summary on what happened last year. Not watching the video, not a minutes, just sort of something out of the council-only session and something that came out of the department head thing. And again, something different than having to go through the work plans and like spread everything out on the dining room table and try to figure it out. Like really, there's not time for that.
Yeah, and we did a summary recap of the retreat for the council, so that's something I can definitely pull together
Perfect.
for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is getting your head around 12, how many departments? 12, 13? I don't remember now. It's
Just a lot of stuff anyway.
12 slides. It's like awesome and daunting at the same time. So. It's wonderful to see it done, and then when you have to actually use it, it's sort of like, oh, what have we done? So.
Anything else? guys?
I'm good.
You got what you need, Ash?
I do. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next, 5C, discussion and consideration of the council meeting schedule for July.
Amber, it looks like Lisa has a suggestion.
Oh, sorry, go, thanks, Bethany. Risa, go ahead.
Thank you. Two very quick ones. Based on what Regina said earlier about meetings being hybrid or in person or only virtual, public is welcome to, the retreat is open to the public?
Yes.
A public portion in the beginning. So I think that's what we did last year. We had like it's kind of exactly like our agenda is now, where there's a public to be heard portion. But the difference is that we will not, after each section, we won't be asking for public comment. So the only time public comment will be taken is that very first portion. And we do keep it to 2 minutes just because really the intent of that retreat is for us to have a work session.
Right. So, but we're welcome to stay through the meeting. We just have to stay quiet.
Absolutely.
Okay. And
Yes.
then quickly, thank you. My second question is, did the facilitator, how did that come to be? Did that go out to bid?
No, it's a very small amount.
Thank you.
Thanks, Risa. All right, any other questions about the retreat before I move on? All right, not seeing any. All right, so we're going to discuss the July through December meeting schedule. Really, I don't want to talk about December, but sure, let's go ahead. We haven't even gotten out of the cold yet. Let's go back into the cold.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as we do this every 6 months, we look at any cultural holidays that are conflicting with anything that we've got on the schedule, and then recommending adjustments associated with that. When we were looking at this, we also looked at the likelihood of moving to town meeting day for the 2027 annual meeting. And so you'll see a little bit of heads up in here that we may be adjusting when we've done things in the past. Traditionally, we have held the budget day in December. We will likely be holding that the week of November 16th. So that is in there just to kind of give you a sense of how things will likely shift. But specifically, the questions in front of you tonight are shifting for Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. And take note that Veterans Day is on a Wednesday, November 11th. And so we are suggesting keeping that very same week, but moving that to a Tuesday. So I don't know if that will work for folks. But if we do that, then we can stay on schedule with having Budget Day that following week in November. And then kind of everything sort of flows from there as we shift those December dates as well. If that makes any sense.
So to recap, it's moving November 11th to November 10th, canceling the November 25th meeting, and moving the 9th and the 23rd to the December 2nd and December 16th respectively. Does anybody have any objection to any of those movements?
No, and I'd move as written.
What?
I'd move, no, and I'd move.
Move to move?
Move to move it.
Move to move?
Move to move.
Second? Okay.
You, Brian, you
I'm fine.
Okay. All right. I don't know that we need a motion, but all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. It's unanimous. The move to the move is
Move
passed.
to move.
Excellent.
Now we're moving on. All right.
Another movement.
So we are discussing and considering the regional committee appointments.
Okay. Again, annual topic that comes before you. You see in this memo all of the different regional boards and organizations that we have representation on. On the right-hand column for next steps points out the only ones that are up for changes at this time. So we've got to reappoint the Planning Advisory Committee members for CCRPC, Chittenden Solid Waste District, and Town Meeting TV. And then we've got some specific recommendations for you, including reappointing Mike Sullivan to Chittenden Solid Waste District. The alternate for Chittenden Solid Waste District, they meet the exact same times that you all meet. And so we are looking for somebody from the community to take that alternate seat. And then we've got Town Meeting TV. Marcus is interested in moving as representative, so up to you folks. And then I don't know if you want another council member to be the alternate.
Quick question. I'm assuming that Mike is interested in continuing.
Yes.
Those two. Chittenden Solid Waste and Town Meeting TV at all?
Chittenden Solid Waste we have. We did do that one. Town Meeting TV was not.
Just so everyone's aware, I have a work conflict of interest and resigned my seat this week. So that's a relatively, on Town Meeting TV, so that is a relatively new revelation.
I don't necessarily have objections to either. I just, from a process point of view.
Yep.
Curious.
Marcus has been the alternate. He's never attended, but because I usually attend them, but he does have the background too. So I'm okay with.
Yeah, generally speaking, I'm fine with it,
Yeah.
especially since he's already the alternate. It's more
Yep.
assuming, like for Chin and Solid Waste, it's more the assuming that we'll just do another term for someone without putting it out to the.
It is a 1-year term too, so unlike some of the other ones which are like 3 and stuff, I mean, I think it's, the next time it comes up,
Or are you talking about Town Meeting TV?
Town Meeting TV,
Okay.
yeah, we would put it back out. Any comments,
I don't think so.
concerns?
If we need a council member to be alternate, I'm willing.
Appreciate that. I think the alternates are helpful. Mike's called on me a couple times, which is how I recognized that their meetings were at the same time as our meeting, because I never could attend when he asked me to do it. So, but Town Meeting TV is now meeting quarterly in the middle of the day at like lunchtime, which is helpful too. So, but I will entertain a motion unless there is any other comments, questions, or concerns.
I'll move it as written.
Second.
Oh, well, I think
wanna
you've got to
Do I
point it
read
out. Yeah. Just because there's no names in there.
Recommend a motion. I move this. Oh, I'm gonna put names in too, so it's gonna be work. I move
can do it.
I move the council appoint the following positions: the CCRPC PAC committee, appoint Chris Ewan as representative, Michael Guerre as alternate to the planning advisory committee for CCRPC. Chittenden Solid Waste District, appoint Mike Sullivan as the city representative on the CSWD board. Town Meeting TV, appoint Marcus Serta as representative, and all other appointments remain as is for.
And Bethany Clark
and
as
Bethany
alternate.
Clark as alternate. Sorry, Bethany. All other appointments remain as is for now.
Thank you.
Bethany was gonna second that.
Bethany.
Second, again.
Thank you. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 That is unanimous. Thank you, folks. All right. I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Give me a
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, another unanimous. Council member comments and city manager report. Regina?
So we got a lot of fun events coming up. I talked about it already, so I won't bore everybody a second time around. And I would like to say congratulations to Logan, our awesome Town Meeting TV person, because he will be graduating from UVM this weekend.
Logan. You guys don't see him, but he's
Hard work, Logan.
behind the-
Congratulations.
Nice job.
All right, any council member?
I just want to take a minute to point out that the parade route is changing this year. The police have recommended shortening the parade route and having the parade conclude near the Champlain Valley Exposition entrance by the VFW rather than the fairgrounds main entrance. So that is a big change that's come this year.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, yeah, that one's unanimous as well. Good job, guys.